Chapter 6. Trixie led Toby and me over to where her human, Janie, was sitting and talking to her mini glow box. She's been like this for a couple weeks now. Trixie seemed concerned. I watched Janie for a couple seconds, but nothing seemed out of the ordinary. She's talking to the mini glow box. Big deal. Libby does that all the time. No, listen to what she's saying. Toby and I both turned our attention to what Janie was saying to the mini glow box. I love you more. No, I love you more. Well, I love you the mostest. Janie sounded ridiculous. Listening to humans bork is always entertaining. Dogs can talk without even making a sound, and we only bork when it's very important. Humans bork constantly, and most of the time it's for no reason at all. I still didn't understand what the big deal was all about. What's so strange? Libby tells me she loves me all the time. It means she's about to smoosh my face or give me extra noms and snuggles. But does Libby ever say I love you to the mini glow box? I thought about it for a couple seconds and realized Trixie was right. I couldn't remember Libby ever saying I love you to the mini glow box. Toby yipped a nervous yip. What do you think it means? Is she going to start giving your noms to the mini glow box? The thought was terrifying and made us all want to show our fangs to the mini glow box. Trixie composed herself. I was worried about that too, but I don't think so. Janie might talk to and look at her mini glow box a lot, but she never gives it noms. I've watched very carefully. Maybe she wasn't going to give it noms, but the whole idea still had me nervous. So then why is she saying I love you to it? And what does it have to do with Libby leaving the den to be with a male human? Trixie laid back down in the grass and took a deep breath. Janie wasn't always like this. It all started on a Saturday night. Normally, Saturday nights are ice cream and big glow box night. What's ice cream? Toby licked his chops hungrily. Trixie looked annoyed. It's a deliciously cold nom that's only to be eaten on Saturday nights, but don't interrupt me. Toby shook the drool from his face and sat down. Sorry, continue. Well, a couple weeks ago, we didn't have ice cream and glow box night because Janie left the den without me. When she came back, she was with a male human. I thought maybe he was the Chinese noms bringer, because that's the only reason a male human had ever come to our den before. But he didn't have any noms. He just gave Janie a hug, said goodbye, and walked back to the outside. At first I thought it was no big deal, but the way Janie started acting after he left got me worried. As soon as he was gone, Janie scooped me up in her arms, twirled me around the room and saying, "Oh, Trixie, I think I'm in love." Ever since then, it's been nothing but love, love, love. I love his face. I love his hair. I love how he smells. He told me he loved me. So what do you think it means? Toby looked worried again. Trixie put on her serious face. You know how, for dogs, there's really nothing better than noms? Toby jumped up and borked excitedly. I love noms! Snuggles are good, but noms are by far the best thing ever. Well, for humans, I think love is even better than noms. Toby looked frightened. That's impossible. There's nothing better than noms. That's what I thought, but ever since Janie has been in love, she's also been doing what she calls a diet. Now I was starting to get worried. What's a diet? It's where humans eat less noms than they usually do, on purpose. What? Toby and I both borked at the same time. The idea was terribly frightening. Why would anyone ever choose to eat less noms? I know, there's something very wrong about it, and it's all the male human's fault. I thought for a couple moments, but then I started to relax. Libby wasn't doing any of these things. None of what you're saying has anything to do with Libby. Yeah, she skipped pizza night to go to the outside without me, and we're assuming, based on a scent I picked up, that she was with a male human. But she hasn't said anything about being in love, and I'd know if she were on a diet. You had me scared there for a little while, but I don't think Libby loves anyone. It's got to be something else. For your sake, I hope you're right. This whole love thing is not much fun at all. The male human has been coming to the den more often. They stare at the big glow box together. They eat noms together. I can hardly get Janie to myself anymore. For a while, we still had our walks, but the male human joined us on one of those yesterday too. He was even holding on to Janie's hand paw with his hand paw, which was very inconvenient if I wanted any pats or scratches. Wait, what did you say? The memory of the first time I smelled the phantom stench flashed through my mind, and I was suddenly worried again. I said I can hardly get Janie to myself anymore. No, after that, did you say he was holding on to her hand paw with his hand paw? Yeah, they do that a lot now. Trixie seemed confused. Toby, has Clark ever held hand paws with another human before? Toby searched his memory. Not that I can remember. Trixie let Toby think for a moment before speaking again. I think humans only hold hand paws when they're in love. Janie never held hand paws with other humans before all this love business. Why do you ask? The phantom stench, the one we've determined came from a male human. I smelled it on Libby's hand paw. That's why it was so puzzling. I smell things on Libby's hand paws all the time, but this time it was much stronger. I think Libby was holding hand paws with a male human. That can only mean one thing, Henry. Trixie looked worried. Libby is in love